Can you guys all see that?
Yes.
Yeah.
Miss Liz, you are truly one of a kind gift to the world. Thank you for doing different and showing the world that it is okay to be different as well. From all of us to you, thank you. An advocate and change maker, a woman on a mission. She is here to make a difference, taking action, not just wishing. She's bringing people together all over the world. She's different and unique, such a beautiful soul, a survivor of abuse. Miss Liz is here to tell the truth. When the world gave up on her and put her through hell, she believed in herself. She's such an inspiration, a flower towards humanity, loves all walks of life, striving towards unity. She leads the world with purpose, pushing through the pain, making a difference one cup of tea at a time. The world should know her name, a survivor of abuse. Miss Liz is here to tell the truth. When the world gave up on her and put her through hell, she believed in herself. Her podcast holds space for people to share their stories. Her reunion show was a favorite, bringing everyone together across countries. Her goal is to bring back humanity simply by being different. With diversity and inclusion, she's wonderfully enlightened, a survivor of abuse. Miss Liz is here to tell the truth. When the world gave up on her and put her through hell, she believed in herself. Herself. When the world put her through hell, she believed in herself. Ooh. She believed in herself.
Wow. That was powerful.
That was beautiful
Such a beautiful song.
and perfectly timed.
Uh, So thank you guys all for joining me tonight on Tea Time with Miss Liz. As you all know, this is a night of farewells and thank yous, and not goodbyes, but just farewells. And sometimes farewells are needed for, just to remind people that self-care is important and that as well. I want to do one more video and then I'm going to get Freddie in here because I see Freddie and Lisbeth in here, and Freddie's going to give us some entertainment tonight and he's going to sing for us. So we're going to do some of that. I want to just let everybody know that I could not have done this without all of my guests. So we have hit over 70 different countries, 175 different topics, and over 400 interviews in 5 years. So I really just want to thank everybody for joining me tonight. you all have made the difference in my life. You have all made the difference in my listeners and in the communities that you guys serve as well. So thank you for that. Again, Miss Liz is not a Zoom girl, I'm a StreamYard girl. So if you see a lot of glitches tonight or a lot of bloopers, you just giggle it off because Miss Liz is trying to figure it all out. So I want to close this so I can see everybody, and I'm not sure how it's going to close. So let me see if I can close this. There we go. I want to close it. Does anybody want to help me here?
There should be a button across the top, stop share mode.
Stop share mode. Oh my goodness. We're gonna close this chapter with a lot of bloopers I see.
If it's not there, oh,
we
there you
go.
found it. You found it.
Miss Liz doesn't give up, guys. If anybody knows this, Liz doesn't give up. I just go with the flow, and I just want to show everybody. So see all these incredible guests that are sitting here tonight. They've all been on Tea Time Eater in season 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5, or a couple of times they've been on multiple different shows, different seasons. So thank you all for that. We do have Lukman in the house from Pakistan. He was on Tea Time 5 times. He was my returning guest. He just wanted to keep coming back and enjoying Tea Time all the time. So thank you.
Oh, what's the time difference from there?
9.5 hours, I believe, is a time difference. So for him to be here, I really appreciate that.
Yeah, I saw a couple of your Aussies in the opening there. It's like that's always trouble too with that time difference. Somebody's got to be up early, somebody's got to be up late.
Absolutely. So we're going to play one more video, and then I'm going to pull up Freddie, and Freddie's going to do his entertainment for all of us. Thank you for that again, Freddie, for popping up and being my special entertainer for this year. I always like to get my guests to be the entertainers because that's another way of supporting and collaborating with my guests. So one more video from Miss Liz, and then we're going to get started with Freddie, and then we're going to do some fun moments and all that good stuff. And if any of the guests would like to say anything after Freddie sings, then we'll do that. And for anybody that needs to skip out, don't worry. This is being recorded and you will get that recording as well. So let me get that video going, and then we will get Freddie up here. This one.
Share a moment, just a second if you will, maybe even a cup of thrill. We could share this performance. Pour a cup, never shut up. T is for tragedy, and being together. E is for everyone and their equality. A is for being asinine and sometimes up. It's just a cup in time. I like tequila and light, like all of us. Not every moment we can be feeling fine. Pour a cup, never shut up. Come over here, have a moment with me. My name is Miss Lizzie. I don't ever smoke the busy, but we can always share some ditsies. It's just a cup in time. I like tequila and lime, like all of us. Not every moment we can be feeling fine. I wanna share a moment, just a second if you will, maybe even a cup of thrill. Share this performance. It's tea time, come sit with me. Come over here, have a moment with me. My name is Miss Lizzie. I don't ever smoke the dizzy, but we can always share some ditsies. It's just a cup in time. I like tequila and lime, like all of us. Not every moment we can be feeling fine. I wanna share a moment, just a second if you will, maybe even a cup of thrill. We can share this performance. It's tea time, come sit with me. Come over here, have a moment with me. don't ever smoke the busy, but we can always share some ditsies. It's just a cup and time. I like tequila and lime, like all of us. Not every moment we can be feeling fine. I wanna share a moment.
There we go. I figured it out. First shot. So now we have some special entertainment coming to the table. We have Freddie. He's going to do some entertaining for us. So sit back, enjoy. If you guys would all like to just leave your comments and how you can connect. Last year, we made 14 connections through Tea Time reunion shows. I'd like to double it up this year. If you'd like to connect or collaborate with any of my Tea Time guests, reach out to Miss Liz. Miss Liz can do that. For all the viewers and that on YouTube, thank you. I see all of your comments coming in, and I really appreciate you all tuning in tonight and supporting my guests, because that's what it is. It's all about support with Miss Liz. So thank you again. We're going to get Freddie up here. We're going to have some entertainment, and then we're going to get some messages from some of these guests and all of their little fun facts and stuff like that that they had during Tea Time, and maybe we're surprised on how Tea Time really was. So let me get Freddie up here. I'm going to pin Freddie. So enjoy the show, guys. So let me... Let me get Freddie. There we go. So welcome, Freddie.
Hey, Liz. Hi, everybody. Wow. Well, such diamonds. Everybody is such a unique diamond, and you really brought everybody together to keep sharing and changing the world and bringing information, new ways of seeing and thinking and being. So I see you're changing things. Old doors are closing, new doors are opening. So good, good, good. So yeah, I want to sing a song or two. This first thing, however tough it gets, just take it nice and easy. Let's take it nice and easy. It's gonna be so easy for us to fall in love. Hey baby, what's the hurry? Relax, don't you worry. We're gonna fall in love. Yeah, we're on the road to romance. That's safe to say, but let's make all the stops along the way. The problem now is to simply hold our horses. To rush would be a crime, 'cause nice and easy does it. Nice and easy does it. Nice and easy does it every time. Thank you. Woo! I got one other one I want to do for you. It's by a guy who, let me find it here. There it is. Traveled the world, and he changed the world with his music at a time when the world needed something good to feel and hear and be. His name was Louis Satchmo Armstrong. His career lasted from the 20s all the way through the 70s. He had kind of a revival tune called What a Wonderful World. So if you know it, you can sing along. Just feel into the vibe. I see trees of green, red roses too. I see them bloom for me and for you. And I think to myself, what a wonderful world. I see skies of blue and clouds of white, bright, blessed day, and the dark sacred night, and I think to myself, what a wonderful world. The colors of the rainbow, so pretty in the sky, are also on your faces of people passing by. I see friends shaking hands, saying, how do you do? They're really saying, I love you. I hear babies crying. I watch them grow. They'll learn much more than I'll ever know. And I think to myself, what a wonderful world. Yes, I think to myself, what a wonderful world. Oh, yeah. Great. Thank you, guys. Thanks for your
That's
ears.
how it's done on Miss
Oh.
Liz. Like, oh my God, Freddie, thank you for that.
Thank you for allowing me to share something. Yeah.
So I want to just get everybody to share a little bit on what you came on Tea Time for. What was your favorite memory? What surprised you about Tea Time? And I'm going to start with Lisbeth and Freddie since they're pinned up already. And give a little bit of what you do and all of those goodies that you might have in 2025. If you have anything that you'd like to shoot out there and throw that out there so we can get that. Then I'm going to jump over to Richard Blank next after. So get ready. I'm going to start pinning you guys. So get ready. Here we go.
Thank you, Miss Liz, and all your wonderful guests. So my name is Freddie Zental Weaver, and this is my partner, beloved Elsbeth Moit. We're founders and directors of Tantra Nova Institute here in Chicago for the last 25 years. We've traveled all over the world teaching couples and singles these practices of how to work consciously with life force energy. We have a best-selling book, Sexual Enlightenment, that's available in Audible and on everywhere. And we love what we do, and we're so excited to be here with you because we see so many people doing so many wonderful things and making the world a better place.
And how we came to Miss Liz is like at least a couple of years ago through our public relationship, person, and we never left Miss Liz ever since, you know. So, and it just has been the way you guide us in the conversation. You give room, you create space, you allow. And what I love so much about you, Liz, is your curiosity. So, you know, in the curiosity, then of course I want to share. And then this idea. And I think I can speak for both of us. We're so appreciative of you to, you know, have us on, and also for us to share our message that may be a little bit out, you know, of the box. But you just were thriving with us. So thank you so much. And you can reach us here in Chicago at tantranova.com, TANTRANOVA, Tantranova, like supernova.
Yes, thank you, Liz, and thank you all your guests, and I look forward to seeing you around the campus.
Well, thank you so much. Again, I had this couple on Tea Time because we don't talk about intimacy, right? We talk about all the dirty stuff, but we don't talk about the intimacy. And I really want you guys to reach out to Freddie and Lisbeth because the work that they do is incredible. You know, and we really need to start getting relationships back on board. Freddie and Lisbeth already know that Miss Liz has a bumpy, you know, ups and downs. So I really want to thank you guys for that. And check out the retreats, check out their books, check out all that good stuff. So again, check them out. Now I'm going to jump over to Costa Rica. That's where we're going to see Richard Blank next. So that's right. We're traveling tonight. Thank you guys. Freddie, thank you again for the music. I really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Happy holidays, all. Thank you so much, Liz. Bye. We're going to be going because we have a thing we got to do. Love you guys.
Thank you so much, guys.
Bye.
Bye.
And there we go. We got Richard in. There we go. There's Richard.
How are you, Miss Liz? It's so great to see you and everybody. I'm having a wonderful time tonight, and I can really feel the energy here. What a direct transfer of electromagnetic energy everyone is giving. But we love you, and you shine. And every time someone gets to cross paths with you, their lives get better. And we're just a very, very small segment of the people that you have touched in your life. And so it's an honor to be here with you and to share ideas. But our episode was interesting.
It was.
I think we were shattering some misconceptions of telemarketing and things like that. You're supposed to hate me. I'm not the guy that calls you at your house. But my good friend, we spoke about beautiful, soft skills and conflict management and taking breaths and diplomacy and strategy and trying to pay it forward to this younger generation so they can be more self-reliant and they can depend on themselves better. So in our interview, my good friend, you brought the best out of me. And I was hopefully able to share these sort of tips and tricks so people can balance themselves when they're dealing with people in sales and business.
Well, thank you so much. It was really an interesting interview. So if anybody would like to check out Richard Blank's interview, Richard, I've seen you. You have me all over the place. Like I've been seeing our episodes in different countries that I was like, well,
Didn't I say I'd take good care of you? Listen, we're making the world tour.
We are. We're traveling the world together. So thank you for that, Richard. And for anybody that would like to check out Richard's, I believe you're on season 4, Richard, right?
Mm-hmm. And also, if anybody's a pinball machine player, I'm the largest collector in Central America. So if you come visit me, expect to have a pinball marathon. I'm totally living in the 80s still. So yeah, that's what I do.
Well, thank you so much, Richard. Next, I'm going to reach out and see if I can find him. Where are you, Claudio? There we go. We're going to pin up Claudio. We're going to take you to a baseball game. We're going to play some baseball, guys. So let me get him in here. There we go. Thank you again, Richard. There we go. Oh, you got your thing on mute. He's hiding from me. What are you doing? All right, just sent you. There we go. Got you.
Can you hear me now?
Oh, no, don't got you.
Huh.
Where's your sound? There we go. I can hear you.
Oh. Can you hear me?
Gotcha.
Hello?
I got you. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
There we go.
Liz, I have to start off. I'm just blown away by all the kind things. Not that I'm surprised, but I think it's so nice that everybody, my mom used to say, never speak from the neck up, speak from the heart up. And everybody's done that tonight and shared how much they care for you and the impact that you've had on them. And I think that's fantastic. And I commend you, and you can just see what a wonderful person you are, but also from everyone else saying all these nice things. And, I don't know all the circumstances but we've all been through things. As a matter of fact, I'm looking at a list on my computer several years ago, probably I think 2008. It seemed like the walls were closing in, and I decided to write down all of the things that were so-called crisis in my life that now seem ridiculous, but they were at the time, they were hurtful or worrisome. And I'd say, I'm a baseball coach, I'm hitting about 960, which is pretty damn good, and this too shall pass. And Kurt Warner, the old Hall of Fame, he's a Hall of Fame quarterback for the St. Louis Rams. He got benched during a game with the Giants years ago. And as he was walking off, the reporter said to him, "It looks like your career is over." And he said, "I can't wait to see what the Lord does with this." And then the rest is history. He became a Hall of Fame quarterback from that. So, life can be tough, and it's tough for me. It's tough for everybody. And we just have to keep swinging, keep plugging away. And it's hard, but somehow we get through it.
And we really had an interesting interview as well, because we talked about baseball, we talked about Hall of Fame, we talked about a lot of different things, right? We went down some real rabbit holes, and that's what happens when you come on Tea Time. You go down rabbit holes, and we open doors that you might have not even expected to open, because my Oma taught me to treat all of my guests as she would have taught, treated me, with comfort and understanding, compassion, because we all come from all walks of life. And the reason that I'm doing the farewell and thank you is because I want to show appreciation for guests that take time to come onto our platforms, guests that go out of their way to get seen in different avenues and come to different tables. And Claudio, when you reached out to me, I was like, oh my goodness, baseball. I like baseball. So I was like, yeah, let's do this. So like I said, there's been over 175 different topics. So if one tea time doesn't resonate with you, I guarantee there is one that will. One tea time will hit home for you. I guarantee that. So thanks again, Claudia. What really surprised you on tea time?
Nothing really surprised me. I was just glad, like Robert said, you brought things out of me. I have a lot of moments in life, a lot of things, a lot of good and bad that happened, and you brought them out, and I was more willing to share them with you because, like you, I want people to be impacted by my story, because we all need to hear someone else's story and how they got from point A to point B, be it the struggles or the successes. People they see whatever they see. Well, there was a story behind that, and I really enjoyed talking with you. And I'm going to have you on my show as well, and share your story. But really, at the end of the day, it's about impacting people. And I've had so many people, starting with my parents, have impacted my life, and I really enjoyed the interview. Sometimes, people will just ask baseball stuff, and you love baseball, but you kind of use baseball as a vehicle to get other things out of me, which I really appreciated.
That's and I think my Oma gives me that little trademark, she helps me along the way. She says, no, dig a little deeper, or go to the next base, right? And then you go to home base, and that's what it is, right? We go to different bases on Tea Time and different countries and different topics and all of that. So thanks again, Claudio, for joining me and being a part of Tea Time and being part of that journey as well. Next, I'm just gonna pick up here where I'm going to go. I'm going to Ron next. I see Ron. I'm gonna pop you up, pin you up, and tell me a little bit about where you've been since Tea Time, because I think you were on season 3, if I remember right. Let me get Ron in here. You want to pin Ron? Do. There we go. There's Ron. Oh, and you're muted. Let me get you unmuted. There we go.
Yeah, it was quite a while ago that I was on Tea Time, and where I am right now, I started walking across the country again on 9/11. Right now, I am outside of New Orleans. I'm going to be speaking at the George and Barbara Bush Foundation. We have developed a suicide prevention and intervention program, and that's what we're doing. We're going to be building a retreat for veterans to give them the tools they need to make the transition. So I'm not 60 anymore, so this walk is a little tougher for me than the last one. So, but that's where we are, and I appreciate that you gave us the opportunity to let people know and create some awareness, but awareness does nothing. Awareness hasn't saved a life. It's what you do with the awareness that counts. So thank you for what you did with your awareness to bring things to the forefront. And I hope people act on it instead of just saying, well, that's a great idea. Good luck.
Absolutely. And that's the message, Ron, that I want to put out there, right? Is these tea times are there. Yes, the podcast is closing, but you can go back and you can make a difference. You can join that walk with Ron. You can reach out to Ron. Just because he was on season 3 doesn't mean that you can't reach out to him. It doesn't mean that you can't connect, and support the veterans and, make a difference. When I say awareness, I don't just mean speaking. I don't just mean interviews. I mean, let's connect and let's really bring the difference that we want to see in the world, because talking doesn't do much. Walking does. So thanks for all you've done, Ron, and keep doing what you're doing and stay in contact with me. Any updates or anything like that, any events, we can get those out there as well. The podcast is closing, but Miss Liz is not closing the updates. So please stay connected with me and give me updates on what you're doing. I'm going to pop up Jeff next because I do know that Jeff has a family party going on. So let's get Jeff in here. And then I'm going to go over to Karen, who's in Australia. So I want to get these different countries up before because of the time zone. So let me get Jeff up here. Thank you again, Ron. And it is a pleasure. I think this is your 3rd reunion show that you've been with me. So thank you for that, Ron. I really appreciate you coming each and every year as well.
Thank you. It's thelongwalkhome.org, just for those that don't know.
If you want to put that information in the chat box so they can reach out to you as well, Ron.
Okay.
Thanks. There we go. We got Jeff coming in now.
I'm here. Namaste, Miss Liz, and namaste to all the guests. What a beautiful bunch of faces and lovely comments. I'm delighted to be with you, even though I've shed a tear that my time with Tea Time and Liz is ending. But as others have said, Liz will carry you in our heart forever. And the podcasts are recorded, so they won't be lost. Love to all of you. It's been a busy time for me because I'm the president of 2 foundations, and foundations and charities all seem to be in that last minute money raising effort end of the year, but I'm used to it, and I'm also a bit piled on because my 95-year-old mother is having issues, and I've had to take over her finances. So, one more thing, but she's still competent and a joy to talk with and Zoom. Unfortunately, she's in Florida and I'm in Indiana. But still, we persevere.
Absolutely. And Jeff actually brought in pickleball to Miss Liz's life. When I first heard about pickleball, I thought you were like hitting a pickle around. I didn't even know what the heck pickleball was. So I learn a lot from my guest, and I am happy to say that I will be joining pickleball next year in Cornwall. So stay tuned for all that exciting stuff. Like I said, next year will be a self-care year for Miss Liz. I'll be doing a lot of different things for myself to get strong again. I want to really thank you, Jeff. You've been on Tea Time 3 times, and every time we always have a good conversation together. We always bring good content to the table and good information. And that's what Tea Time is about, is right, getting that information out there that people might not know about. So again, thank you, Jeff. And I know that you have a family party to go to. So I will just let you enjoy your evening with your family. Again, I want to just thank everybody for coming in here tonight and giving me that time and space to be here. Yous all make a difference. And I want yous all to remember that we make a difference by just showing up, by just having that conversation, and by just having that cup of tea, and not the beverage, but sharing our life stories with each other. So again, thank you, Jeff, for that. Thank you. If anybody would like to reach out to Jeff, put all your information into the comment section, all your good stuff and work that you do, so we can get that seen and heard as well. My goal is to connect as many as I can guests tonight, along with the guests that didn't attend tonight because of other commitments and family things. It's Christmas time, right? We want to travel. We want to see family. And that's number one for everybody. I want everybody to understand that your care comes first. So thank you again, Jeff. And now I'm
So
gonna
kick a pickle,
pick a pickle.
kick a pickle.
Kick a pickle. I will do my best. You know what? I've actually seen the instruments to play pickleball, and I was just like, oh, that's what the ball looks like. It's not a pickle, Liz. What the heck are you thinking, girl? But honestly, when I heard pickleball, I thought we were hitting pickles, and I'm not a pickle lover, so we'll see how this goes.
That's why you can kick it. You don't have to eat it.
Oh, thanks for that. Next, I got to get Karen from Australia in here so she can speak because the different time zones, we have people from all over the world. Then I'm going to jump over to Paul because he's also in Australia and that as well. And then we're going to jump over to Lukeman because of the 9-hour time zone there. We're going to just keep popping around. Again, if you guys want to leave all of your information in the comment section so Miss Liz can push that out after, because there is going to be a lot of different surprises coming for 2025. I am taking a break, but I'm not going to take that kind of break that you're all thinking I'm taking. So let me get Karen in here and then I will let me add Karen. There you go. Thank you so much, Jeff. It is an honor, and stay in touch. You know, I'm just a cup of tea away.
Hello, hello, Miss Lizzie. Can you all hear me all right?
I can.
Wonderful. First of all, I just wanted to say it is so lovely to reconnect again with you on video and see a few familiar faces there as well. The first thing that I wanted to share that really caught, I suppose, touched me is the song. And I just think that the first song that Freddie that did it, isn't it? It was just so perfect, and it's captured your essence and the essence of the work that you do. So I just wanted to say, even though you're here, to thank our guests, your guests, because without guests, you wouldn't have a program. I think without you, none of this will happen. And you bring so much of yourself and selflessly to give out to others. So very, very much appreciated. And I have not been very active. I kind of, like in a roundabout way, took time off last year as well, this year, to be away from Facebook, and decided to not work or focus so much on my business itself, but still being in touch, and the wonderful people that I've met through those online connections. I just think it's incredible, and we can really be friends all across from the other side of the world. So thank you so much for making that possible.
Oh, you're very welcome. And I really enjoyed our conversation because it went down some rabbit holes too, right? It didn't really go down the conversation we thought we were going to have, but we really enjoyed ourselves together. And that's what it is, right? You think sometimes, okay, I'm going on a podcast and I'm going to talk this, I'm going to do this. But then you get on the show and you're like, oh, I'm not going that way, am I? I'm going this way. So.
And I think that's the beauty about, or the idea behind speaking authentically, sharing your story, and how really our stories connect us, and whether you use it to make a friend, or you share your story as part of sharing your wisdom or something that you've learned, or as part of your business. I think it is so important that we do share some personal things and some part of, not necessarily every tiny detail, but some part of what's made us do what we do and what made us change those changes. So with that, what happened is, speaking authentically has been put in a back burner or on hold as that sort of standalone business. But with my husband, we also have an astronomy-based business called the Mobile Observatory here in Western Australia, taking advantage of the beautiful dark skies. And what we do is now is kind of like a combination of both, and bringing to people just the sheer beauty and awe of experiencing the universe, and seeing it not from the perspective of the science, astronomy based, but to actually experience wonder again. And I think that kind of like excitement and being open to beauty in nature, and it just does so much for people. And one of the main things that I say, sometimes people say, oh gosh, you know, when we say about the size of the universe and, you know, trillion galaxies with billions of stars, and it's just unfathomable. And some people say it makes me feel really small. And I like to do a sort of shift on perspective and say, well, to me, it makes me feel incredible to be part of something so much bigger. So I think this is who we are and what we are. In essence, we're all connected and we're all bigger than ourselves when we think that way. So thank you.
Oh, you're very welcome. And again, if anybody's traveling to Australia, I just seen in a message, Joyce is traveling to Australia. If you guys can connect, if you guys are close by, I would love to hear about that if you can. Paul's in Australia as well. Iran is in Australia as well. Like there, we have 3 guests that came in from Australia. So I really want to thank you for that. And connect and maybe postcards, right? Let's bring some postcards back. Let's get some connections going. So I'm going to get Paul in here and he can share a little bit about his journey on Tea Time, because we went down some rabbit holes as well with Paul. So let me get Paul in here.
Hi, Liz. And hi, everyone. It's a pleasure to be here and wonderful to see and meet you all and listen to the beautiful music and singing and sharing that everyone's doing. It's such a pleasure, and it's so great to connect back with you again, Liz. And we did have wonderful conversations. Life's changed a little bit in my end when we talked last, and that was, I think, February this year. So it's only relatively recent that we've talked. I love your openness. I love your ability to have, those great conversations. You really are a great conversationalist, great open mind, and, your passion to make a difference for all of, us and humanity, everyone that listens to your podcast. And so I think, kudos to you for what you're doing and how you touch people's lives and how you really are dedicated to getting it out there. And that's really what makes a big difference in the world. It's absolutely beautiful. For me, things have changed a little bit. We talked about things. I just published a co-author of a beautiful book, Soul Love. And then obviously we're working on some beautiful meditations and things like that for the work I was doing. Now I'm really just, one would say, simplified my life. And I love building websites. And so I help people now build new websites. I use the Wix and Squarespace platforms to keep it nice and simple. So that way, many of us do need and use websites all the time with our business. So, I'm always there to help people. And I love having that passion where, I can take the technology side of things and then you can focus on what you really love doing in your business, so to speak. So you're not all caught up with the technology as well. Just like you were struggling with the technology earlier on, Liz, with trying to get the Zoom thing working. So, that's the bit I love. I can take care of that for everyone else. And in that way you can focus on what your passions are. And so it's great seeing you. It's great hearing your voice.
Paul, and you brought a guest to my table because you're like, I enjoyed our conversation so much. Check out this guest, and that's what it's all about. When you enjoy your time on Tea Time, and if you have a friend or somebody that you know of that would like to be on Tea Time, now that we're closing, but back when I was open, that's what we were doing, was we were connecting the dots. We were saying, you know what, I think that this next guest might bring something. And that's what it was all about. And as you've seen in the second video, all of the collaborators that I worked with, there's so many that I've worked with that I can't even mention them all. In 5 years, I've worked with over 400 different people, 400 guests. I worked with 9 different publishing companies and publishers and publicists and then magazine covers and stuff like that. I've worked with a lot of people in 5 years, and that's where it got to where Miss Liz just needs to take a pause. We all need to pause in life, and I enjoyed each and every one of you coming to my table and bringing something different and bringing a different tea to the table. So, Paul, what was the most interesting thing about Tea Time for you?
Well, honestly, the thing that was the most interesting was just how easy it was to have conversations with you. And like you say, we could talk about all sorts of things. And then, you and I talked at length afterwards, even after the podcast interview, on separate occasions. And it was lovely to have that, that ease in the conversation and just, your openness, in being able to just discuss it many different areas, many different factors. And so the wisdom that came with that as well, and it's wonderful to be able to talk to, someone that has that excellent mind that can, be open to new ideas rather than just fixed in a certain, narrow sort of set of parameters that some people can operate under. So, it was beautiful to have that, and it was so great that connection, that friendship, and I'm excited about your future endeavors so that you can, expand on that even more.
Well, thank you so much, Paul. It was a real pleasure having you there. And let's stay connected. Let's see what goodies you have in 2025, because Miss Liz wants to stay connected to all of you guys. Like I said, I'm not leaving like you all think I'm leaving. I'm just going to stop so much public stuff. We're going to really connect behind the closed doors and then just come and just give a good, strong cup of tea. There's going to be a lot of knocks on a lot of different doors, a lot of collaborating, a lot of connecting with a lot of my guests. And we're going to bring something different to the table. And we're going to switch up. We're not going to podcast. We're going to serve. And that's what I want to do is I want to serve. I don't want to just have those conversations. I want to actually make a difference. Like Ron mentioned, the awareness is nice, but if you're not doing anything with the awareness, it does nothing. So let's really bring that to the table, bring impact to our stories, bring changes to our stories and stuff like that. So that's what Miss Liz is working on 2025. Next, I'm going to get, I seen him in here. There's Lugman. I'm going to get Lugman in here. And then I'm going to jump over to Gloria, because I want Gloria to talk about her journals. I do see that, she's back. So we're going to get Lugman in, and then we're going to get Gloria in, because I really want to talk about self-care on this farewell and thank you. So let me get Lugman in here from Pakistan.
Yeah, can you hear me?
I can.
Yeah, first of all, thank you for being here and happy Merry Christmas as well as Happy New Year in advance to all of you. It's pleasure to be here. I have no words to say in the description. When I have read that this is the last podcast, right? So I became shocked because it's hard. It's really difficult. It's hard for as well for me because Miss Liz, ma'am, you are the reasons of millions of smiles. You are the reasons of millions of motivation, right? When every day I scroll up my social media and I always see that Miss Liz podcast, so it's a become us a way of motivation in different types, in different ways. So I do not ask you to why you are pausing and why you are taking a break, but definitely I will wait for you. I will to bring it back again and again to spread the love, peace, and motivation again. And definitely not only me, all of the people in the meeting, all of the people in the podcast will always waiting for you to bring it back and come back again.
Well, I'm not going far away, guys. I'm just going to be less on social media and more in person. So, like, again, the knocks are going to be coming. You just never know. There's a lot of things that Miss Liz is working on. Yeah, as you all know, Miss Liz is always working on something. So let me get Gloria in here and let's talk about Gloria, because Gloria has Miss Liz on her website and I'm popping all over too. So I really want to thank all of you guys for having me on your websites as well and sharing your tea times and encouraging them to be heard, because that makes a difference. It shows me that I'm doing a good job at having you as a guest, because you're honored to be on my platform and you share those platforms, right? So Gloria, let me get you in here and let's talk about some self-care in your journal and all that good stuff, because Gloria really, she was on Tea Time twice, I believe, on season 3 and on season 5. So let me get Gloria in here. And then I just seen somebody pop in that I want to get up next. So Mickey, get ready because I'm going to bring you up.
Okay, hello everyone. First of all, Miss Liz, you bring nothing but inspiration to the conversation. And like everyone here has said, we feel like we're in your living room with you, having tea, not having this distance between Canada and the US. I was shocked to find out you were in Canada. I thought, oh my God, she's all the way over there. In our talks, in both of them, I've had my share of life-threatening moments and emotional challenges, and you'll continue to have them. But what I've learned is you find out what you're made out of. If you can take that challenge, whether it's physical, I was once stabbed, almost lost my life trying to prevent a woman from stealing a $12,000 mink coat at a high-end department store in Chicago. Why I did that, I don't know. I didn't expect to get hurt in the process, but I survived it. And that's probably when I first found out what I was made out of, how I used my mind to get beyond the prognosis, which was not good. I was not even supposed to have the use of my left leg. And I said, hey, wait a minute. I was born with heels on. I'm going to wear the heels and I can run fast in heels. And I got my heels back, even though that was not supposed to be the prognosis. I was supposed to be in a walker the rest of my life. And, near drowning, and certainly I'm a cancer survivor, and the cancer has resurfaced. So I'm fighting that again. And we won't go into all the emotional stuff, but the mind is probably the best medicine. It's a powerful tool if you can just learn how to use it. And during COVID, I got curious about this mindfulness movement. And I know some of you are on that page. And I started investigating all the elements of mindfulness. And I found that, it's really made up of intentions, affirmations, gratitude, kindness, wisdom, faith, visualization, all these wonderful things. And then after COVID ended, I went to Barnes and Noble, set Indian style on the floor, and I thought, well, I want a journal that I can write in every day to keep me focused, to keep me mentally well, keep me focused in the positive realm. And I couldn't find one. I found one on gratitude or affirmations. And I thought, now, wait a minute. I write books. I've written 4 books. They were business books, but I can deviate from the business books. So I wrote one for myself. And then I decided, no, I can't be selfish. And I can't just keep this for myself, because I thought what I came up with, what I was inspired to come up with, and all of you, sometimes, the universe is talking to you, and it's inspiring you with something that maybe you don't quite understand or get it. Well, my word of advice to you is just do it. There's a reason for it. And this is my book, actually. It's on Amazon. But I combined 2 elements. I invited not just the elements I just gave you, but I also found out that I had a brain scan, and I found out that I had a minor stroke. I did not know that. And this stroke left a scar, and I have permanent memory loss in one area of my brain. And that's why when I look at a photo album and I see myself in there, I don't remember the scene. I don't remember being there. So that part. So then in going to neurologists and cardiologists, found out that there is a partially clogged artery, maybe from the injury, the stabbing, but I have to walk at least 30 minutes a day to force blood flow and oxygen to my brain so my brain can function as close to normal as it can. And that's why I call it a health watch. So it combines the mental attitude using the elements I just gave you, but it's also telling you to monitor your health, take walks. And in fact, I have a chart in there every day that you have to write down how many steps you did that day or what type of physical activity that you did as a motivator, so that at the end of the day you see you didn't, then you can do something about it, because you need to record it. It needs to go on there. So anyway, I really have enjoyed my time with Miss Liz. I do have it on my website. I find her very, very inspiring. And I find all of you inspiring. In fact, I'm writing down here, taking notes as all of you are talking. Oh, that's a good one. I like that one. That's a good point. And I'm writing along and taking notes, and who knows what I'm going to do with it, but I'll do something with it. But I've enjoyed all of you. Thank you so much for this time in this moment.
Oh, you're very welcome, Gloria. I like that. She likes the teas, so she's going to connect with those teas, and that's what it's all about, guys. I want to bring Mickey Mickelson. I've worked with Mickey for 3 years, and he's brought me some really incredible guests to my platform. So I want to bring up Mickey. Mickey, I want you to share a few words on how people can get connected with you, because I don't want you to not get seen, because you've done a lot for Miss Liz. So let me get you up here, Mickey, so you can share a little bit about Creative Edge.
Thank you, Miss Liz. Can everybody hear me? Yes?
Yeah.
Perfect. First and foremost, Miss Liz, I want to say and give a big thank you to everything you've done for me and my clients, a number of which are on this event tonight. It's bittersweet because we know it's the last podcast, but I can safely say that you are an advocate for Creative Edge. You're an advocate for the media world. You've been a trusted friend of mine for the last 3 years, and we've laughed together, we've cried together, we've talked together about all kinds of things. And my clients have been nothing but ecstatic about being on your program in your format. And I wanted to come on tonight to say thank you to you. And we should be all celebrating you and your show for what you've done for all of us. That's the first point. Just you're an incredible human being. And just thank you for everything you've done for us. Creative Edge would not be where we're at in a roster of over 100 authors right now if you didn't play a big part in that. So just thank you for being you. I just wanted to say that.
Well, thank you so much. And Mickey, thank you for the friendship. We've had our ups and downs, right? And we've had like a lot of last minute little things that we had to fix but working together and good communication and staying connected makes the difference. And that's one thing I can say. Mickey and me, we had good communication. Like if there was something that was not right or something, that we were able to talk and work it out. And again, Mickey, your guests, I had a blast with each and every one of them. I could not have done it without all of them. And many of them always wanted to come back for a return tea time. So that was always nice to see. So I knew I was doing something right when they were returning, right? So again, Mickey, put all your information into the chat. So anybody that wants to connect, anybody that has a podcast that are looking for guests, authors and that, Mickey is an amazing person to work with. So check him out as well. Again, Mickey, thank you for the friendship and thank you for having my back and for being here tonight. I'm really surprised. Thanks for popping in because I like those little pop-ins.
Yeah, and I'm sorry I was late. I actually just got held up. I wanted to be here. I had to be here. And I'm so glad to see some of my clients are here tonight as well to show support because we all should be supporting you overall, to be honest. So, and I'll put my chat in, but case in point, I mean, someone's asked, so I'm gonna talk about that. I am a book publicist, actually an artist publicist. I represent a couple of musicians as well. And I get all kinds of interview opportunities in all kinds of traditional media, TV, magazines, podcasts, radio, you name it. I have a business affiliate with Abundantly Social out of Houston, Texas, who controls a lot of the social media piece. And I've been in business for 9 years, and yeah, we're highly successful, as hopefully some of my clients will attest to who are on this call tonight. So yeah.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much, Mickey. Well, I do see some of your guests, your clients in here, and it's always nice when the boss comes in, right, guys?
I'll hear about it later, I am sure.
I Miss Liz always likes to throw a little joke in there once in a while. I'm gonna bring Diane up. Diane, I wish I could put my hood up, but I'm still hot flashing, so I'm gonna let you wear the hood for me. We are dressed up as Mrs. Claus, and we're gonna bring some love to the table. So let me bring Diane in here because she's been on Tea Time, I believe, 3 times, maybe 4. 3 times. Maybe there might be a 4th time. We just never know. Me and Diane might have something. So let me get Diane up here and let's see where Diane takes you guys with Mrs. Claus.
Hi, guys. It's so great to be with you. I don't know if you can see me yet, but while she's bringing me up, I'm one of Mickey's clients, and he is absolutely 100% the best. He introduced me to Miss Liz, and I can't say enough about Mickey. So just want to throw that plug out there because I would not be where I am if it wasn't for him. And for Miss Liz, Mickey's absolutely right. We're here to celebrate you. You're probably one of the kindest, most loving, caring person that I have ever come across. And I come across a lot of people. I've lived all over the place in the world. So you and I just really connected, I think, and on and off the set. But the joy, the love, how much you listen to us. You're a great listener, and that's why you're such a good communicator. One of the things I love about your show is I never know where it's going to go.
Those rabbit holes, they always pop in, right?
And it just makes it so much fun. I'm always so sad when the show's over, but I'm on such a high from your show that I just like have a spring in my step for the rest of the day. And so I really thank you and I love you for that. And another thing that was always a surprise was, especially the first time when I had to think what my T, my E, and my A stood for. After that, I was ready. But it was really, you know what I love about that, Miss Liz, is that um, to really think, what the T and the E and the A is in each moment of your life at that particular time. And I really like that. I think it does, like the young author we had a moment ago, and I've actually already ordered her book, by the way, Mindfulness and Health Watch, just so you know, is that the T, the E, and the A actually makes us be very mindful and to look inside our soul and think about what we want to share on your show. And then the way you pull out even more stuff from us is just like, whoa, I didn't know that about me. So thank you so much.
Well, thank you so much. And that's what it is, right? My guests come on and they're like, I don't even drink tea. I'm like, you don't even need to drink a beverage. You can have a glass of wine, you can have a glass of juice, a glass of water. It's about the past, the present, and the future. Miss Liz was given this metaphor at the age of 4 by my Oma, and all I'm doing is just I'm keep serving the tea. And that's why I really want to get out of the podcast world, because I'm not a podcaster. I feel like an imposter. I feel like I need to be doing something different and I need to create something different. And my Oma is tapping me on the shoulder and saying, Miss Liz, you're the girl to do it. So I just need 6 months, guys, and then I'll be back. And I have all of your connections. I have all of your information. I haven't gotten rid of any of it. So I might knock on your door and I might say, hey, I need you for this and I need you for that. Me and Diane have been speaking a little bit, so we will be working in 2025 with a couple of things. And we're going to bring up some really good fun skills and arts and crafts, music. Like, Miss Liz likes music, and we're going to get fun. We're going to get creative and we're going to start connecting. So Miss Liz is going to come see you guys. So there's going to be a lot of travel for Miss Liz, and Miss Liz needs to travel. I
want
need
you
to
to travel.
I need to.
So when you get too cold up there, and Mickey, if you're still there listening, y'all just come on. I'm gonna put on my Texas accent. Y'all just come on down here, and we'll help get you kind of warm. But don't come in February because we get a nice storm.
Well, we got those ice storms in Canada too.
But we Texans don't know what to do about it.
Right? It's a slip and slide.
Minus 50. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I was cold at 60 degrees Fahrenheit today, so I won't survive. You guys are strong.
I'm just gonna bring everybody up. I just want to show who's sitting in the room right now, so you guys all can see each other, because I know that that's a little small screen. Sometimes you don't see each other. So we have people from Australia, Pakistan, Canada, United States, Costa Rica. Like, we have all different countries here tonight. So we had other guests that had to leave because family comes first for Miss Liz, and travel. And if you're traveling, please travel safe and enjoy your holidays with your loved ones, because time is precious. So now I'm going to bring up, where did I see him? I seen him in here and then I seen him leave. But I'm going to go to Joseph, because Joseph seems to be doing a little bit of stuff in the chat there that I'm going to bring Joseph to the screen. So let me bring Joseph so he can share a little bit about our adventures together, because we've done other things besides just tea time together.
Yeah, you know me, I can't avoid the lame puns, and I can see Michael Gardner, aka Savaged, has gotten around to joining us too. I'm Jokester Joe on Savaged Unfiltered. But yeah, thank you for not only having me to discuss my books, but to join you with the Heart and Stroke Foundation. I wish we could have done a little better and a little more for that, with my father having ultimately succumbed to being bedridden by stroke for many years then before he passed. So that was very important to me. And but yeah, other than that, if people haven't figured it out by the chat yet, I I can't pass on the lame puns. Yeah. If you weren't in the room earlier hearing me to say to Liz, get out, go. Love you, Liz. You know I love you.
I feel the love. You know, Joseph and me really had interesting tea times because we went down some rabbit holes too. Like, and rabbit holes exist in Miss Liz's world because Miss Liz loves Alice in Wonderland. So that's where the rabbit holes come in. That's my superhero is Alice in Wonderland. So, you know, I'm not about Wonder Woman and Batman and all that. I'm about Alice. Alice was a strong woman who really went through a struggle in life, right? And she found herself. So I really want to thank Alice in Wonderland for all of that good cheers and giving Miss Liz that hope and courage. I see Savage in the messenger, but I don't see him on the screen, so I don't know if he has his camera on or not because I think it has it
No,
set.
I just see his name listed and his mic is muted right now.
Yeah,
But
I think he's hiding
yeah,
on us.
you do the Alice in Wonderland rabbit holes. I stick to the conspiracy theory rabbit holes.
And Joseph, I really want to thank you for making donations for the Heart and Stroke Run event that I hosted with Danny Covey, who was also a Tea Time guest on season 3. He had 8 open heart surgeries, and he shared his personal story. And that so we did the walk for 2 years straight, and we raised some money for Heart and Stroke and brought some awareness and got our communities involved, and found out that Danny was only like 40 minutes away from me. So of course, when Miss Liz finds out that you're that close, guess what Miss Liz does? I go and I get to see you, and that. So
Yeah. And
I
it's
really
kind of
want to
come
meet
full
you all.
circle now to me. I now know I have a heart valve problem. Eventually, I've been putting off that needs to be taken care of, you know, but nowadays those are fairly routine. But anytime you go in for a surgery of any kind and under anesthesia, you never know what may happen. So I want to make sure some other things are in order before I even take that chance.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much, Joseph, for joining me tonight and being that jokester that we all know and love. You know, let's stay connected and
Yeah.
let's see where it's going to go. Miss Liz is still open for interviews for next year. If you do have a podcast and you'd like me to share my story on your podcast, I'm
And
open for
like I
that.
said, cue Motley Crue. Don't go away, Maz. Just go away.
You know, Miss Liz is always just around the corner, guys. So, you know, I have some really incredible guests in the house, and you know, if we don't get to you in time, or you have to leave, please just leave your comments in the section. Miss Liz is going to see all of those as well. You know, I really wanted just to say thank you to everybody who's joining me tonight and that. Next, I'm going to call up. I was going to call Savage, but I can't see Savage's video, so I'm not sure what you're doing, Savage. I think you're just hiding. But I'm going to call up Daphne. And Daphne and me met through an anthology book that we wrote together in called The Sacred Hearts Rising. And that's where my journey of writing my story started in 2017. So Daphne's not only just a tea time guest, she's also a Sacred Heart sister. We also won some awards together at the Sacred Hearts, where Miss Liz spoke for the very first time on a stage at the Sacred Hearts. And Daphne kind of gave me the strength and courage to get through that moment because I was very stressed, full of anxiety. And she gave me some magical light that she does. So I want you to check that out. But Daphne, I want you to get up and I want you to share a little bit about all the incredible stuff you do, sister.
Oh my goodness. Thank you. First off, first and foremost, I had no idea you were going to call on me. So I have no idea what's going to come spewing out of my mouth. Please, everybody can totally laugh because I don't know. But yes, that's where we first met, was at the Sacred Hearts Rising anthology series first ever book launch. I wrote my story. That was the first time I ever wrote too. And I mean, the lady that brought us together to do that was amazing. But I am blessed now to have also have written my own book called You Do You. I shared my link of Linktree in the beginning of the evening tonight, I guess you could say. I do many things. I am an energy worker who helps animals and people to live a life of balance and harmony. I use crystal therapy, I use cold laser therapy, and I use sacred geometry tools and source energy. But yes, back at that day that you were so stressed about talking on stage, you did amazing. But I also create custom pieces of crystal healing jewelry for both people and animals. And I had a beautiful piece. Do you still have it, Liz? I don't
Yes,
even
I
know.
do. I should have
Okay,
worn it tonight.
that's okay.
I did wear it in our tea time episode. So if anybody wants to see it, they can check it out on Daphne's Tea Time.
You bet. But yes, I mean, I've got a website, I've got a Facebook page. I don't personally do podcasts, but if people would like to interview me, hearing about my story, Joseph, wait. um, I don't know, Miss Liz, what should I don't know what to say because there's so many things that I do that I help people with and help animals with. I mean, I'm blessed and grateful to have veterinarians asking for my card so they can share it with their clients so I can make things for their animals. I've got animal chiropractors asking me to create things for their pets. I use, like I said, I use cold laser therapy. What should I say, Liz? I don't even know.
No, you're doing good, girl. Like good.
I'm
Just spill
flying
it.
by the seat of my pants. I'm
Well,
looking at the smiling faces looking at me.
Well, Daphne, what I really loved about our tea time is you took me on a journey. You had me close my eyes. You gave me a chance to tune into myself during our tea time. So anybody that wants to check that out, check out what Daphne did to Miss Liz on that tea time. Like I said, some tea times we have conversations, sometimes we have music, sometimes we play with Play-Doh, like I mentioned with Tammy, who was here earlier. We just do different. And that's what the whole message of tea time is do different, get different results. So Daphne, no, really, you've done amazing. And check her book out. Her book is amazing. Check that out. Check out her story in Sacred Hearts Rising as well, because she does have an incredible story. What you
Okay,
never
can I tell you something?
shared.
Can I just, the first chapter that I wrote, don't read that. Just read my book. My book's better. I go back and I look at that and I'm like, oh my God, that's horrible. But we have to start somewhere.
Those were baby steps, and we all had
Right?
baby steps in our journeys, right?
Right. And so, I mean, I love, I love supporting people to feel seen, valued, heard, loved, and supported. I mean, I learned from Miss Liz, if anybody knows, because that's what Miss Liz does. But that I love to help people remember their magic because everybody is magical. And I see Paul shaking his head. I've met Paul before, right? Paul, we've connected in the past. Yeah. I love to help people find their magic and remember their magic because we're all magical beings. And because of the journey that I've experienced in my life, I have learned my magic in a different way, but everybody is unique. And if you want me to help you find your magic, track me down.
There you go. That's how you do it, sis. Like, come on, you had this, you know. Uh, Daphne, you're an amazing person, and don't ever forget it, okay?
Thank you.
We met in person, and we've met through the virtual land. And you know what? In a heartbeat, I would love to meet you again in person. So let's see what we can do for the future for that stuff.
In divine time, we'll come together and I will, what I can do is I can reshare my link tree. It shows my website, my online store, and my book on there too.
Absolutely.
So I'm getting a website upgrade too. So that's coming January 11th because it's a number 2 day, so I can plant the seeds that I need to plant.
Well, thank you so much, Daphne. Next, I'm going to go to somebody who was on my radio show. A lot of people don't even know Miss Liz was doing radio. Miss Liz was doing radio every Sunday on WFRM, and then Nine Radio and Ulster Radio is also playing all of your tea times over and over again. So I don't know when they're being played or who's being played, but they have all been shared over to those radio stations. So, and those radio stations are in the UK and in Ireland. So you guys are getting seen globally. And all of your tea times have also been put into a backlog that will be repurposed in 2025 on Deepcast, and they will be playing all of your tea times. Miss Liz has done that as well. So I'm working with a lot of guys in the backburn. Like I said, I work with you guys before, during, and after, and I want you guys to know that I still got your back, even though the podcast is closed. We're going to still get your stories out there. So I'm going to bring up Doug. Doug was on my radio show and he was on Tea Time actually too. So he got boat experiences. So I want Doug to share a little bit on how he enjoyed boat experiences for Tea Time with Miss Liz.
Well, I don't really have a choice in a lot of cases. And by that I mean, I look at it as two different environments to be able to tell your story to, and that's important. So it was really worthwhile, a worthwhile journey for me. And how I look at our time together was that it helped me with my healing journey, because you shared the passion that I had for mentoring mental health and grief, and so you were right standing side by side beside me. And what you did was you allowed the continuance of my story, and you brought it out. You actually have a gift, and I hope you know what it is, but you do have a gift of being able to create a safe place for the sharing of a cup of tea. And it's by sharing that cup of tea that, we're able to go, each time we get together, we go a little deeper, a little deeper, a little deeper. And the story, starts to unfold. And because of that, what's happened for me going forward in 2025 is the launch of a grief mentoring circle. And I want to be able to say that, and I can honestly say that, in addition, I have two pluses. First off, I'm one of Mickey's clients. That's the first thing. The second thing is that you have been instrumental in helping me formulate what that grief mentoring circle looks like and how it's going to move forward to make the world a better place. So thank you, my dear, for what you've done and what you will continue to do.
Well, thank you so much, Doug. It was always a pleasure having you. And doing the radio was a little different than doing the live stream, right? Because that was again Miss Liz playing with a bunch of different buttons, and I was just like, "How do I do this? I got to play a song. Oh, I got to stop talking. Oh, we got to. Oh, we have a commercial break. Oh, we got. There's a lot of things to do with radio, right? The reason that Miss Liz is not doing the radio anymore is because of my hearing loss. The box that I have for my hearing loss doesn't work with the streaming devices that most radio streams use. So I found a different way to get on the radio by using
And that was perfect for you, Miss Liz, because you're always good at pushing buttons.
I like to push the buttons.
Normally, yeah.
But that was the reason why I stopped the radio. But the radio show was seen on WFRM every Sunday, and we did 1 hour. But I brought tea in a different way on the radio. Through the radio, I brought music through the T, E, and A words. And I found some songs, and some of my disc jockey brothers and sisters, they were like, "Where did you get that song? How did you find that song?" I was like, I just put words in, guys. I just Google words, and then all of a sudden this cool song, 1940s comes up, 1920s comes up, and they're all like, I've never heard this song a day in my life. Well, guess what? You got to hear it when Miss Liz was on the radio. So that's what Miss Liz did, and I brought different to the table. I did see Savage in here, and I think he's hiding, so I'm not sure what he's doing.
Can you hear me, Miss Liz?
I can hear you. I just can't see you. So I think you're my shadow.
Unfortunately, yeah. I'm a traveling man at times, and there's times Joe will vouch for me here in the program that there's times where I can go on video and there's times where I can't. So those are one of those times. I do apologize. I have to go old school and just give you the audio.
Well, then that's the way it works in the podcast world, right? It's a lot of audio, but video is only just starting to come in. And Miss Liz was doing video
Yeah.
5 years ago. Everybody's like, "Oh, we got to start doing video on podcasts." And
You
I was like,
know,
"I've already been doing this for years. What the heck are you guys doing? You guys are
you know,
behind."
Miss Liz, I was doing video about 5 years ago myself, but the the vision for video podcasting 5 years ago, it just wasn't there. I just think the popularity now with video has grown so much that now you don't even see audio podcasts. I mean, some, with the exception of Joseph M. Leonard in here. No, I'm just joking, Joe. But no, I mean, it has its ups and downs. I mean, I'm all for audio podcasts. It's a blessing. But like Joe will say the same thing, when he's on my show a lot, he'll say, that you need that video caption of the reactions. You need to see people's exactly, Joe.
Reactions and
Yeah.
faces and the interaction. But yeah, absolutely. I am so upset all the time that Savaged Unfiltered and my own Constitutionalist Politics podcast, the video versions don't seem to get it. But I also understand, of course,
Absolutely.
a lot of people like to listen either over lunch or Bluetooth
Yeah, I mean,
into their car radio.
Yeah,
Video there is not helpful when you're trying to drive.
yeah, I mean, like you're at the gym and stuff, and you don't have time to pay attention to the video content when you're on a treadmill or you're trying to get that last set in. I don't want to be held responsible for somebody breaking their neck with a barbell. But no, it's been a great journey, with this project and career as well too, because I consider it a career. I make a very well substantial amount of money with this podcast, and the amount of people I've met over the course of now going on 6 years. We just started season 6 about a week ago, and the background of people, from politicians to comedians, movie actors, entertainers, sports figures, which we just had actually the original founding producer of ESPN on the show just this past week, which will be on. Gave you guys a little teaser. It hasn't released to the Spotify network yet, but it will be released next week, actually. So we just had Peter Fox, actually, the original producer for ESPN, and the amount of history he told us of how ESPN started to where it's at now. Just to name a few, comedian April Brucker. I mean, so many great people that's been on, and I can't wait. I can't wait to see where it goes, in the next 5-10 years. If you guys have been paying attention in the chat, we're about to be launched onto the Roku network. So that's another big step for us. My producer is like always asking me questions like, where you want to go next? What do you want to do this? I mean, it's like, whoa, slow down, man. One thing at a time. But Joe will laugh sometimes, and Joe is like, he'll be like, hey, the more the merrier. I can't keep up with his 45 platforms he's on. I'm only on 5 video platforms. He's on 45. But we're on like 60 audio platforms and constantly growing. So, the industry of how I came into it, I came into the industry of podcasting in 2019, but I'm no stranger to radio. I've been around radio since the early 2000s. I've worked with some of the greats, including Howard Stern, 92.3 K-Rock up in New York City, just to name a few. So I've been around some really, really good personalities in the past. So, but
Well, thank you so much for that, Savage, and thank you for popping in and being a shadow and being a voice, so I could check out some of these comments that are coming into the chat box.
Yeah, I'm just I'm traveling right now. I don't have permission to use the background, so I hope you understand.
No, I completely understand. I do have somebody else that doesn't have a camera on. Yvonne, I do see your message. I would like to see if you have your audio. If you have your audio, I'd like to hear from you. I don't think her audio and that is working as well. So I got a couple other guests that haven't come to the stage yet, so I would like to bring them to the stage. I'm going to go to Terry next, and then I'm going to go to Pepper, and then who am I missing here? Then girls, I want to end with you guys at the end because you guys were my last podcast interview, and I would like you guys to wrap it up. So I'm going to come to you guys, and we have Sherry as well that I still have to get to the table. And David. I see David. So we will go Nancy, Pepper, David, Sherry. No, we're going Terry, Pepper, Nancy, David, and Sherry, and then Gwen and Lissa will wrap it up, and then we will close with the last video of Miss Liz and close up the reunion show. But before we close that up, we have two videos that I'm going to play prior to that coming in from the Neverlands from Kim. And then we have Chintia. She's going to also bring a message in from Arua. So I would like to get those seen as well. So let's me get to Terry. Then we're going to go to Nancy and Terry, Pepper, Nancy, David, Sherry, and then girls. And then we'll get to the videos. So let me get Terry up here.
Hello. Can you hear me okay?
I can.
Hey, hello, everybody. Thank you so much for having me. I wanted to just drop by to let you know how much I appreciate you. I was on your show in July of 22, and this was after I had COVID and I was really sick and I ended up losing my memory. I don't know if you remember our show. And your show was one of the first shows that I was on. And I'm sort of a behind the scenes kind of person. I'm an entrepreneur. I have my own nonprofit. I am a registered nurse and I work with young people, high school students, and young adults who have barriers to prevent them from being successful. But when I had gotten COVID, I lost my memory and I also lost my voice. And your show was one of the first shows, was the first podcast that I did. And I had never done a podcast before, not like yours. And so I always say that niceness removes the friction of life. And being on your show and feeling so comfortable and just accepted, and you listened to my stories, and I didn't feel like I was on a podcast. I just felt like we were just sitting on the floor, just having a little chat. And so I just wanted to let you know that that made a major impact in my confidence. And I went on and I do lots of podcasts now. I'm looking for opportunities to really reach out and connect with lovely people like you have on your show, to help young people to reach their full potential. And so I'm always looking for partners and people. If you work with youth and you want to mentor and you want to pour into young people's lives, and if you want to come alongside me with that, I would love to talk to anyone who's interested in learning more about what I do with my nonprofit, which is the Nurturing Wellness Group Foundation. And so, Liz, thank you so much. I will definitely be praying for you, and I look forward to seeing you in whatever endeavors you're going to be doing. I know that you're going to just do wonderfully. So thank you so much for just being a major, major part in my life.
Well, thank you so much, Terry. And when we had our tea time together, it was a journey, right? It was can we get through this? I don't really have a voice. I was just like, well, step by step, we can do this, right? Even if we have to whisper, we're gonna whisper, we're gonna get it done, right? Because that's what we do, is we get it done. And I think we both had a cup of tea as well that time.
Yeah, I think we had a real cup of tea. We both had a cold or something. So that was good. Thank you so much again. I didn't talk about my book is Grateful for the Journey, Surviving COVID-19. It wasn't really supposed to be a book. I actually my my doctor wanted me to write down different parts of my life that I remembered, and my husband wanted to have it published. So anyway, that was the kickoff of that, and I think that's one of the reasons why I came on your show. But anyway, thank you so much again, and hello everyone. You guys are my peeps. You have big hearts, and I feel it, and I really appreciate being a part of this community.
And that's what it's about, right? It's a community, bringing people together and all that good stuff. So, and I love seeing old faces that I seen like a couple of years ago. I'm just like, oh, they're still around. Yes, where are we going with this? Because I've been doing it for 5 years. So when I get a season one person coming back and saying, hey, Miss Liz, how you doing? I was like, oh, hi, how are you? And my emails are open all night long because Miss Liz is a night hawk and I do a lot of my work at nighttime. So if you ever just need somebody to talk to, or need a moment of venting, Miss Liz is good at venting. You can vent to me. I'm not going to take it personal or anything like that. Sometimes we just need to get a lot of stuff off of our shoulders. And 2024 has been a heavy year for Miss Liz. So I really want to thank everybody for joining me tonight and being here. Just one person showing up would have made the difference, but having all of you guys say, hey, I want to come back, is really special. So thank you for that.
Hey, Miss Liz, I forgot to say, I appreciate everything you've done with this show. I really do. I forgot to add that actually, and I wish you the best wherever your endeavors go. And it's sad to see the show kind of coming to an end, and I just wish the best for you. I really do.
Well, thank you for that, Savage. And check out his podcast. He does a lot of twists and turns. And sometimes I check in and check out that podcast, and I'm just like, wow, okay, I needed that today. I need that pickup.
Yeah, it's a little toxic tea for Miss Liz, but it's okay.
Well, Miss Liz
Yeah.
likes a twisted tea from time to time. I do have a dark sense of humor from time to time.
Of course, the shows are a lot better when I'm on them. Yeah.
Next, I'm gonna bring up Pepper Ann. I did see that the girls did disappear. I don't know if they'll be back, but Gwendolyn and Lissa, they were on Tea Time and they closed up the podcast interviews. Check them out. They have an amazing book called The Canvas of Life. They do their own. Alyssa is the illustrator and Gwendolyn is the author and poet. And it is two Canadian girls from Canada that are working on a second book that's coming out in 2025. So check that out. And they bring some really good conversation to the table as well. So check out that podcast as well. I'm going to bring up Pepper. Pepper and me have had a journey. And Pepper, I think, is my longest guest that I spoke to after the interview. I think it was like 2 a.m. when we were done talking. So let me bring Pepper up. Welcome, Pepper. Can you hear me, Pepper? I can't hear you, but I can hear you typing away. And we were worried about this. We even talked about this before this afternoon. She was like, my microphone, Liz, my microphone. So Pepper's going to leave a bunch of stuff in the chat, and we're going to move on over to Nancy. Now, Nancy,
I think she literally spilled some tea on her computer, so screwed it all up.
and that's how it works, right? We sometimes it just doesn't work. The microphone doesn't work, but Miss Liz always found a way to make it work, right? We had a lot of technical issues during podcast time because they were live shows. And a lot of my guests were like, oh, we're going live? That's not recorded? No, we're doing live. We do live. We do whatever comes to the table. And Pepper, your microphone's not working, but I'll get you, girl. I'll get you on
That's
TikTok.
okay.
Oh, I have your voice.
Can you hear me?
I got you. Look, your microphone's working. There we go.
You know what? I had to play with the buttons here. We're good.
I told you, push those buttons.
How are you doing? I'm so happy to be here tonight to see this, and it's such an honor just to be a friend of yours. You're just I wouldn't have missed this for the world.
Pepper and our tea time went down some really weird rabbit holes, but it was the conversation we had afterwards. And that's what I really loved about some of my guests is them staying afterwards. We had conversations after the live show. So I got to know them a little deeper on different levels and that. And me and Pepper have stayed connected. And, sometimes our emails don't work or our TikToks don't work or our messages don't work, but we still stay connected, right? And we still find a way. So Pepper, what did you enjoy about Tea Time? And share a little bit about your book because I want your book out there.
Okay. Well, let me tell you a little bit about the book first. It's called The Notorious Texas Swindler, and it's about a family member. Somehow it turned me into a true crime author. I wanted to be an author. I just didn't know it was going to be crime related. And I exposed a lot of individuals who did not want to be exposed, and they deleted my work. I had to rewrite my book multiple times. And through the process, trying to get the story out there, I was reaching out to individuals who were willing to listen. And you were one of the individuals who wanted to hear my story. And you helped me get it out there in the world. I self-published it. And I'm working on my next book, which is a crime fiction book. But I enjoyed being on your show so many times. In fact, I came back, what was it, twice? I mean, we just had so much fun. We went down so many rabbit holes. And I told you so many things that I hadn't told anyone yet about the individuals and my story. And it was, I just enjoyed it. I enjoyed our talk so much. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Pepper, for that. And let's stay connected and let's see how we can get this TikTok thing working that we've been talking about. So if you want to see Miss Liz, check Miss Liz out on TikTok as well. You'll see some of the tea time stuff there. And you'll also see a little bit of Miss Liz's personal journey as well on there. Next, I'm going to get Nancy in here. Now, Nancy, it was a weird thing because I put in the universe, I wanted somebody from a cruise ship. I wanted to know the entertainment world on a cruise ship because I've always wanted to travel on a ship. And then all of a sudden, poof, Nancy pops up and submits, I'd like to be on Tea Time. Well, that's the way it's done. Put it out in the universe and the universe finds you. So let me bring Nancy up so she can share a little bit about her journey and all of the amazing stuff you're doing, because I think you're still traveling, right?
I am. Not only am I still traveling, I'm not singing as much because they didn't want jazz anymore. They just wanted party bands, and I've kind of been there, done that. So what I decided, I wanted to keep sailing, so I'm now a contractor doing wardrobe. But after I finished the book that we talked about, which was so cool of you to let me talk about it, because I was so excited, it had just come out back in October last year, and Work at Sea, See the World. But I couldn't personally speak to how amazing it would be to be crew that had to, work in the galley and get up at 4 a.m. to make pastries. I was like, So I wasn't giving up on my musicians because those are my people. So I wrote another one called Notes That Float. And that's the one that's just come out just like a couple weeks ago. And, but the whole idea of musicians reading a book was kind of a silly idea. So I'm going to turn that into an online course called the Global Musician Academy. And so I can hook people up to get their thing done, because I miss the music thing. The singing was the most fun. So
absolutely
I'm hanging on to that. And I'm going to help other people do it if I can't. So I will do that.
Absolutely. And Nancy actually sang on last year's reunion show. So if you want to hear Nancy sing, check out the reunion show of last year. She got to sing a couple songs for us.
Do you want the same closer song when you get to the end?
Well, we might just do that. I want to get to Sherry, and then I want to get to Gwendolyn. I seen Liz has laughed, and then we have a video that is a little long, but it's just Miss Liz giving you guys my final thoughts,
Yeah, let's do
and
that.
stuff
That's
like
more fun.
that. So,
We don't need to hear from
but no,
you.
Nancy,
You are the focus of the attention.
Nancy, no, Nancy, we
You are
can
the
do some
bomb.
singing. We'll do some
So
singing.
I
Oh,
just want to
Alyssa's back, so we're gonna get Sherry on, and then we're gonna get David, and then we're gonna get the two girls on, and then we're gonna close it up with farewell. Thank you. Appreciation of all of you guys and all the guests and all of my guests. I couldn't make it tonight, and you're watching or you're going to watch the replay. Thank you. I could not have done it without you. So let me get to Sherry next, and then we're going to go to David, and then we're going to go to the girls, and then we're going to wrap it up and let you guys all enjoy your Christmas holidays with your friends and family. And Nancy, I might just get you to sing.
if you insist. But honestly, honey, this party is all about you. So I just want to thank you again for letting me be a part of it because it was absolutely the bomb, and I so enjoyed staying in contact all these times since then. It's been wonderful, and I wish you all the very best. And we're hoping you're going to be back because we're looking for you.
Absolutely. Well, yeah, I might just see you on a ship.
You just might. I'm everywhere.
Sherry, welcome to Tea Time and Farewell, and thank you. Share your thoughts in that because we had a really good conversation. When Mickey gave me Sherry, she's also known as her pen name is Tong Ji, so check her book out as well. But Sherry, share your journey a little bit.
Yes, of course. Actually, we just met in December, right? Our interview was on December the 3rd. And I'm new at this, but I also have had probably over a dozen interviews before I was on your show. And you have a special gift to connect with people and you care. That's I felt like right away because as I said during the show that I haven't, the things I haven't shared with other interviewers and I was able to share with you. And also because I was always worried about time when I had other interviews, and I didn't really speak everything I wanted to speak. I usually stop at about 60-70%. But with you, I was able to share everything. And not only that, afterward, we chatted for quite some time. I think I felt like an hour, maybe not, but it felt like. So it's just that you're such a wonderful person. I'm so glad. Actually, I'd like to say thank you to Mickey for the introduction. Without Mickey, we would never meet, right? I really, really appreciate that. I just feel it's a gift. You're a gift in my life, in so many people's life. And as of 2025, I like to finish translating this book, my debut novel, The House Failure, into Chinese. Actually, Chinese is my mother tongue, is my first language. So it should be easier than writing in English as my second language. And also I'm looking for a publisher for my next book. So the second book of the China trilogy. That book's title is called The Pinning Bird. It's already finished. It's edited and multiple times. And so that's pretty much my goal for 2025. And I really, really appreciate everything you have offered, you have shared. And yeah, let's meet one day. And I'm looking forward to that day.
Absolutely. We got a lot of Canadians and a lot of Americans, a lot of us. Miss Liz might just pop on the pin, right? Just throw a dart and that's where I'm going. I'm going to Australia. Okay, all my Australian tea time guests, meet me at this location and we just have a good old time together. Same as Canada, right? Let's really connect. And that's my end goal is to meet each and every one of you in person. If I find out that you're close by, I do go see you. So I have met a couple of my tea time guests over the years. I just met Jay Barnar, who was on Tea Time for Empowered to Recover. So, and we're going to be working on an event in 2025 as well. So stay tuned for that. Like I said, Miss Liz is not going far. There's just different things that Miss Liz will be working on. Now let me get David, if David is still here. Yes, he is. So let me get David up here because me and David went down some rabbit holes too. Like those rabbit holes were really busy in 2024. So let me get David up here.
Hey, Miss Liz, always nice to see you. I think I'm one of the very last guests. I think it was December 5th, maybe, so 2 weeks ago. And I am basically a full-time webcaster today and a full-time professor. And it's kind of interesting because it's messed up my writing career. So I did want to say shout out to Mickey Mickelson, who introduced us and has been working very hard to help me promote my books. And I wish I had met him earlier when my publishing. And I have interviewed on Saving America Diane and Joseph. And I don't see him on here tonight, but Michael Hinkson, who's the blind survivor of 9/11, was up on the 58th floor and somehow managed to walk down with his seeing eye dog and another person. So we've had some really fun interviews. Miss Liz, we haven't interviewed you yet, but I'm sure we're going to work that into the schedule. And but the sad part of being a full-time professor and a full-time webcaster is I have put aside my current book in April. Mickey probably doesn't want to hear this, but he knows what's going on. And I was hoping to have that book ready by the first quarter of 2025. And that's not going to happen, though. I'm trying to dig a hole of time to catch up on that book. And we talked a little bit about the interaction with all different people, and I have to stay sharp all the time, and I have to be very well behaved. So I have, I teach at a Catholic university, but I also feel as a professor, even if I wasn't at Catholic university, because I was at a public university before, that part of being the person is to set a good example and to, try and get people to speak the king or the queen's English, as we say. And so that's a little bit of a challenge. And also a major focus of my life is ethics, is imbuing my students with ethics. And I do belong to some associations, and I write about ethical topics when I get that opportunity also.
Well, it was an honor to meet you, David. And like I said, stay connected. Let's see where we can go in 2025 together. And and Mickey was shaking his head. So yeah.
And the honor was mine, Miss Liz. And again, thank you, Mickey, for introducing us. And I've been taking furious notes here about some other folks on it. And in Saving America, we interview nonfiction authors, business leaders, and people who have things to say about our community. So we interviewed somebody on dementia the other day. We've talked about mindfulness. We've talked about people overcoming addiction and other things. So we try and focus on social topics and political topics and business. And that's where the nonfiction book issue comes in. But you don't have to have a current book out. But if you're working with Mickey does introduce me to his nonfiction authors, and we try and work them into the show. So be delighted to connect with a number of you in the future.
Awesome. Now I'm going to bring up two amazing young ladies from Canada who were on my last episode of Tea Time on season 5. And I was done for the year. And then Gwendolyn reached out to me and she's like, can we be on Tea Time? I was like, I'm done, guys. And I was like, okay, tell me a little bit about your book. Tell me a little bit what you guys do. And then they shared, and I was like, no, we need to do one more Tea Time. And their book is called The Canvas of Life. And the reason that I wanted them on was because some of you know I had a stillborn daughter at a very young age, and she didn't have life. And the book spoke to me and said, Mommy, please do this for me. Give me life. So I gave her life, and I had these two amazing, beautiful ladies on, and they shared. And there's an image that Lisha, she did, she did, and it really just touched my heart. So I want to bring you two girls up, and I want you guys to share a little bit about your book and all of the stuff that you're doing in the future.
Oh, thank you, Miss Liz. That's very meaningful to us. First of all, I just want to say thank you for having us on your final episode. It was very special to spend that time with you and to share our book. Our book is called The Canvas of Life, a collection of poetry and art. And our hope is that our poetry and art resonates with people. And it was so special that that one poem and the artwork resonated with you. Our journey is to create experiences and to tell people's stories. And you really brought out the tea in us, transforming experiences artistically. And so thank you for like making us really think about that, because that was really meaningful to us. And this is our book here. It's available on Amazon and Indigo, and you just do such a great job hot wiring connections. You build community as an educator. I strive to do the same. And so thank you, Miss Liz, for that. It was very special.
And Lisa?
And I got to do this with my very good friend, Alicia, and she's the amazing artist of the book. And while you're talking, Alicia, I want to show the painting that Miss Liz really enjoys.
Oh, God. Okay, well, yes, we are really grateful to be a part of everything, and getting to chat with you and getting to really delve into our emotions on it, because it was a very emotional process doing this book and speaking with all these people and getting these stories. And it was really nice to have somebody who read the stories and saw the artwork and resonated with it. And it just shows how special it was to have this book come to life and touch people. So it was very important to us.
Yeah, this whole community is about storytelling, and it's such an honor and privilege to hear all your stories. Miss Liz, I'd like to hear more of your stories. What you said there just got me so emotional about your daughter passing. So if we can connect with people, if we can keep telling people's stories, that's what we're going to do. And if you'd like to collaborate, connect with us, please do. We're from Canada. Merry Christmas, happy holidays. Keep finding your tea. Miss Liz, I hope you find what fills your cup, because you have so much to give. You're a gift. You filled my cup, and I just really, really, really want you to know that you are loved. And thank you so much for having us.
Thank you so much. You know, and this is why I kept you guys for last, because I know that the tears are going to start to fall. We do have a message from Kim the song from Neverlands, and we have one from Changia from Aruba, and then we have the final video of Miss Liz. And for anybody that can stick around and watch those videos, I'd really appreciate it. If you need to leave, I do understand. Again, this is recorded. To all my viewers and an audience that are listening to Tea Time tonight and watching this episode, this live show, give me your feedback. And if there's somebody that you've seen tonight on this farewell, thank you, reunion show, let me know and I will connect you, because that's what I'm doing. I'm connecting the dots. I'm just taking a pause, guys, because my mental health is not very good. And I've gone through a lot of hard things this year on my own. A lot of personal stuff, and I have to find Miss Liz again. I have to find me. I lost myself along the way, and I need to find me. And that's the message that I want to give to all of my listeners and my guests and viewers out there. Make sure that your self-care in 2025 comes first. Everything else comes second. So I'm going to play those videos from Kim and from Changia, and then I'm going to play the closing video, and you'll see how you can stay connected to Miss Liz. And again, thank you all for joining me tonight on Tea Time. I'm just going to get those videos for you guys, and we'll start with Kim.
Dear Miss Liz, I wanted to send you a celebration message from the Netherlands. I'm really honoring you of 5 seasons of Tea Time and all the amazing guests that joined you and all the listeners tuning in. So it really has been an amazing journey, a platform of beautiful connections. And I really want to honor you for all you've created, all the amazing conversations, all the amazing inspirations and connections that were created from that. And also this new chapter that is coming into your life. So I honor you, I celebrate you, and I send you all the best. Bye.
Next, I'll play Chanchia's video.
Hello, Miss Liz, and to everyone celebrating the incredible milestone of connection and transformation created with Tea Time with Miss Liz and making a difference. And what a difference you've made. I'm so grateful that I had a chance to also be part of your extraordinary Tea Time journey. You've spent the last 5+ years pouring your heart and soul out into elevating so many voices all over the world. I believe it was over 60 countries and more than 150+ topics that truly matter. Extraordinary, Miss Liz. And so thank you from the heart for your tea of transforming, educating, and advocating. You've brewed something far more impactful than just tea. You've created ripples of hope, understanding, and action throughout the globe. Your teapot hasn't just been a vessel for stories. It has been a true guiding light for humanity. So here's raising my teacup to you for the countless lives you've inspired, the perspectives you've broadened, and the community you've nurtured. Ms. Liz, you are truly a beautiful soul making a difference, and the world is better because of it. I am so excited to see what your next chapter will be and where it takes you, and I'll be definitely cheering you on every step of the way. You are truly one of a kind. Here's to you, Miss Liz.
It's because of guests like that that I wanted to do this, and I wanted to say thank you. This is going to be a hard journey not to have these interviews anymore. You guys have been a part of my life for 5 years. So stay connected because I'm going to need you guys. I'm not going to be disappearing. I'm just going to be taking some time for myself. So I'm going to close up with the final video, another song that my son wrote. So it's similar to the first song that I played that he played, but he added some extra characters into it. And my son has a dark sense of humor like his mama. So I want you to enjoy that, and you'll see where Miss Liz is going. If anybody would like to stay connected or work in 2025, just reach out. I'm just a cup of tea away, guys. And I really do mean that. I'm just a cup of tea away from all of you guys. So let's play the final video and wrap it up. And thank you guys all for joining me tonight. And thank you for all the guests that were here earlier. And thank you to the guests who weren't able to make it, because I know you guys are watching Miss Liz, and you'll catch the replay. So thank you. Thank you to the countries that came tonight: Pakistan, Costa Rica, Australia, United States, Canada, Aruba, Netherlands. We had India, we had Nepal on, we had so many different countries on. You'll see that in the final video, and you'll get to see a little bit of how many topics Miss Liz actually did. And I want to do a special shout out to my video creator that I've worked with for 5 years from Nigeria, Adina Adanson. Check him out. He is a freelancer, and he has created all of Miss Liz's videos every year for the reunion show. So check him out. A young guy that I met through another organization, through another Tea Time guest, Torzine. His brother was Save the Children's Foundation. So that was another Tea Time that was on here, and it was just another connection. And he made a video for his brother's foundation, and I was like, hey, who's your video guy? And he's like, oh, my brother. So that's how we connected. So again, a nice shout out to Adina. Before I play the video, I would just like to say a couple of words about thank yous. So 3 years, Mickey. It's been a journey, 3 years. 3 years is just the beginning. So thank you for that. To all the collaborators that you'll see in the video that was in the middle, in the beginning and at the end. To all the supporters, the business magazines that shared Miss Liz's business, and that, because there's many branches that many people don't know about, because Miss Liz was busy watering the podcast, but I wasn't watering the rest of my business. And that's what I'll be working on in 2025. The media sources, the booking platforms, the PRs, the HRs, the podcast guests, radio stations host Tea Times, guests who were strangers who turned into friends who are now family. press releases, agents, platforms, and again, to my children for saying, Mom, what are you doing today? Well, Mom's having tea time. Sometimes they didn't like to hear that I was having tea time, but you know what? Mom had to do what Mom had to do. So again, and my little granddaughter is watching, so a big shout out to you, Ray, and grandma's raise your cup, serve some tea, because you're the next generation of tea time. Nanny's working on you for that. So let me get the last video up, and thank you again for staying the whole night. I really appreciate all of you guys. So enjoy the video and stay in touch, guys. And you're able
Before
to
it starts playing, Miss Liz, I just want to say that, and I think I echo what Gwen was saying, and probably from all of us, you give so much of yourself. It is time to fill your cup, but also don't forget that we're also here for you.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that, Karen. And here we go. Here's the last, guys.
I wanna share a moment, just a second if you will.
For 5 remarkable years, a single cup of tea has united us across continents, cultures, and conversation.
For a cup never shut up. T is for tragedy and being together. E is for everyone and their equality.
I was even thinking to take my life because can you imagine being in a communist regime, being accused to be a spy? What can be your fate?
Yeah. Like all of us, not every moment we can be feeling fine.
Sure. I started drawing and painting and doing theater and dance.
When I started Miss Liz's Tea Times, my goal was simple, was to spark meaningful conversations about issues that are related to the world today through storytelling, words, and the metaphor of TEA.
We can always share some disease. It's just a cup in time. This song doesn't have to rhyme. Like all of us, not every moment we can be feeling fine.
From education to mental health, social justice to children's literature, we've explored the stories that matter.
When I was a very young child, obviously, if you follow my story, you know that I was undiagnosed as a child, but there was always questions of people asking, well, she's different. Why is she like that? So it was very obvious that I was different, but I always was in some type of art program. I always drew. I would take my art supplies and go find somewhere to draw where nobody was bothering me. So I was always into some type of art, and that's where I felt safe.
And that's what tea time is, right? It's a gathering, it's community, it's connecting, it's conversation. You know, you sit with people and the conversations that you bring up at a tea time, you know, it's like going to grandma's house and having tea. You talk about your celebrations, your wins, new babies, weddings, anniversaries, funerals. You know, you talk about all of that stuff at grandma's house. And that's all I want to do is I just want to have my Oma come to your home through me and say, let's have some fun and let's have a tea.
And you, my audience, have been the heart of this journey, bringing our conversations into your homes, classrooms, and communities and countries.
A cup in time. This song doesn't have to rhyme. Like all of us, not every moment we can be feeling fine.
Together, you and I have made an impact. From supporting children's causes to advocating mental health awareness to bringing educational awareness topics to the table of all walks of life. The legacy of Miss Liz's Tea Times will live on forever through our conversations of the TEA.
Performance for a cup never shut up.
While this may be the end of one journey, it's the beginning of many more. Let's continue to be the change, be the voice, and serve our true teas within ourselves.
A is for being S and 9, and sometimes it's just
From my heart, my home, and my cup, I want to thank you all for 5 unforgettable 5 seasons. May we all raise our glasses and cheers to new beginnings.
Pour a cup, never shut. With me, my name is Miss Lizzie. I don't ever smoke the dizzy, but we can always share some ditsies. It's just a cup in time. This song doesn't have to rhyme. Life's all of us, not every moment we can be feeling fine. Just a second, if you will, maybe even a cup of thrill. We could share this performance. It's tea time, come sit with me. Come over here, have a moment with me. My name is Miss Lizzie. I don't ever smoke the dizzy, but we can always share some ditsies. It's tea time, come sit with me. Come over here, have a moment with me. My name is Miss Lizzie. I don't ever smoke the dizzy, but we can always share some ditsies. It's tea time, come sit with me. Come over here, have a moment with me. My name is Miss Lizzie. I don't ever smoke the dizzy, but we can always share some ditsies. It's just a cup in time.
As we close one chapter, we leave the chapter of TEA open for you to enjoy for many years to come. Be sure to check out season 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And if any tea time resonates with you, please connect with Miss Liz, and she'll collaborate and connect you to those guests. And who knows what other doors we may open through the TEA. You can find Miss Liz on over 80 platforms, on podcast apps, social media platforms, and radio stations across the globe. So be sure to give Miss Liz a like, subscribe, follow. Main video podcasts can be seen on Miss Liz's YouTube, Miss Liz's Tea Time. So be sure to check that out. And again, thank you all for 5 remarkable years. Let's all make a difference, and let's keep serving tea to one another.
Not every moment we can be feeling fine.
Thank you all.
That was beautiful. Wow. Your son's talented, and you are too.
Yeah, my son wanted to do that. He was hoping that the podcast would stay open so we could use those for next year. But as he said, Mom, you need to take care of you. So, that's the message that I want to give to everybody is sometimes we do for everybody, but we forget ourselves, right?
Yeah. And now it's your time.
And Miss Liz has forgotten herself. So I need to find myself. And again, it was a hard year, and I'm grateful to be here with all of you guys tonight, because there was many times this year that I maybe never made it. Mental health is a real thing. And unless we start really understanding it and really start sharing our stories, it's going to take a lot of us out. And that's what I'm afraid of. So that's why I'm taking time to heal myself. So thank you guys for bringing the fun, bringing the laughter, bringing the tears, bringing the connections. I couldn't have done this without all of you guys. And I think I've done pretty good for 5 years. So.
Oh, my stars. Yes.
You've done amazing.
Yes.
Thank you, Miss Lizzie.
And I've seen all the comments.
Feeling the love from all the world.
I've seen all the comments in the chat boxes. Thank you guys. I'm trying to stay strong. I don't like to show because I do have little ones that are watching, so I need to be that example, right? if I want to serve a cup of tea, I got to serve my cup and I have to be full too. So, and there is a junior on the side waiting to take tea over. So my little granddaughter, Raylan, she's ready to go. She's a tea time girl. She'll tell you what tea is. She has sat in this room on this floor and listened to many of your tea times as well, and your books, your children's books, and that have been her bedtime stories and that as well. So, thank you guys. I will let you guys leave when you're ready to leave. I'm not rushing anybody out. And let's stay connected and let's see where 2025 really takes tea time.
Sounds good. Merry Christmas,
you.
Happy New Year.
Happy holidays to everyone and a wonderful, wonderful 2025.
Best wishes. Thank you.
Happy
Happy
holidays.
New Year. Happy
Happy holidays, everybody. And once again, Miss Liz, thank you for everything that you do every single day,
Exactly.
every single moment. Just
Yeah.
you're an incredible inspiration to all of us. Just know that.
Thank you so much.
Bye, everybody.
Bye, everyone.
Bye, everyone.
Thank you, Miss Liz. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Miss Liz. Truly appreciate you. I want to give you a big hug, so I'm giving you a big virtual hug right now.
Thank you, Gwen.
You take care. Bye.
Big smile. There you go.
Me too, Miss Liz. I want to give you a big hug.
A big hug. I'm taking it.
Love you. Merry Christmas and have a wonderful holiday season. See ya. Bye.
Thank you.
So I'm still here. I just want to tell you, I'm literally a phone call away. I don't care if it's in the middle of the night, you call me because my phone is right next to me.